Market opens lower post a weak global handover but comes off the lows. IT is the first sectoral performer along with PSU banks, metals. Autos gain while mid-caps trade flat. The market recovers all its morning losses. Now the Nifty and the Nifty Bank both in the green.
HL dips over 5%. Of the government launches an offer for sale to sell a maximum of 3.5%. Novoma says the government stake sale will lead to an increase in free float, while Morgan Stanley issues an overweight rating saying the OFS removes an overhang of the stock.
Asian Paints falls over 1.5% as Jefferies issues an underperformed rating. The brokerage says a tailwind from input cost deflation should be sold into, with Grasim's entry into the paint sector weighing on the mid-term outlook.
Coromandel International gains close to 2% after announcing its foray into specialty as well as industrial chemicals. The company will invest 1,000 crores into the new CDMO business over the next 2 years. Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel D'Souza and joining me as always is Mangalam Malu. Well, in terms of the markets, Mangalam, it's looking quite good actually. Yep. You know, earlier today the call was if 17,050 does hold out, then we're still bracing for a bit of a short covering bounce. Anything can happen, but given the kind of positioning that we have on an expiry day, well, that 17,050 becomes a bit of a line in the sand. 17,000, 17,050. And it seems the markets have some unfinished business on the upside. Now, that's predominantly because only in case there is no fresh negative news that comes in from the banking space globally. So that's important to note. The Nifty Bank as well has come off the day's low. So it's looking quite good, at least as of now. When you woke up earlier this morning, you would be worried that you're waking up to negative cues. And on the Nifty Bank, now we've approached the 20 DMA. We have conquered the 200 DMA and we're heading towards the 20 DMA. If we can hold about those levels, it'll be rather good from a bullish perspective.
Hi, Nigel. And, like you said, if the Nifty Bank can hold on to these, will the Nifty also do that? Because usually we see the Nifty, following what the Nifty Bank does. The Nifty Bank conquered the 200-day moving average and the 20-day moving average right now. The Nifty 20 and 200-day moving averages placed around that 17,350 to 17,450 mark. Seems far away from here, but if there had to be a powerful short covering rally, well, those levels, wouldn't be too far for a powerful short covering rally. But for all that and more, we do have with us Sachidanand Taker, who's joining in for a quick technical check on the market. Sachi, your thoughts on the recovery that we've seen from the lows? Is it sustainable? We have the weekly options expiry today. Could there be case for some more short covering, or do you think this is just a flash in the pan?
Good morning, Mangalam, and good morning, Nigel. I think the major part of the move has already been unlocked. We don't see Nifty, collapsing right now. And even if you look at the Bank Nifty performance, which was, on the outperformance side, I think that particular outperformance may continue. It has already managed to sustain above its critical support zone of around 17,050. So we don't see, Nifty, closing today's session below the same. So this particular support should hold on. And on the higher side, we don't expect it to, flare up above 17,200, 17,250 mark. I think that particular resistance will hold throughout the day. So somewhere close to 17,150 is the trajectory that we are looking at when it comes to expiry. A very similar case in Bank Nifty, until unless we don't see it swinging below the 29,900 mark, there may not be any fresh weakness. But on the higher side, once it starts sustaining above that 20-day exponential moving average, which is placed somewhere close to 40,200, probably we may see some more, flaring up towards 40,300. But I think that will be a good level to book some profits there. And probably the expiry is going to shape up somewhere close to 40,200 or below that. So right now, I think the reward to risk on the long side is not that sweet to deploy any fresh trades when it comes to index. But I think this will be a very good stock-specific session wherein long-short opportunities are still available.
Okay, so give us some of those opportunities then.
Nigel, I think DLF is one particular counter which we have recommended to our clients. If you look at the recent breakout, post that we have seen 3 days of a consolidation. And on the daily chart, this looks like a rising 3 formation. The setup is expected to outperform, and we see this particular price action to extend towards 380 zone during the day itself. So long positions are recommended when it comes to DLF. The stop loss from here on should be placed at around 368. On the short side, if you look at the performance of Bank Nifty and if you compare it with SBI, clearly SBI is still underperforming. What we have observed here is on the daily scale, it is exhibiting a bearish pennant kind of formation. On the 60 minutes chart yesterday, we saw a breakdown from this particular formation. The pullback is again giving us an opportunity to create fresh short positions when it comes to SBI. The stop loss should be placed at around 527 on the higher side, and positionally we are expecting a swing back to 500.
All right, Sachi, thanks a lot for joining in and giving us your views on individual stocks. Let's shift focus to our special segment, Ideas for Profit, from our colleagues at Money Control Pro. Nitin Agarwal joins in today.
The company that I have chosen is ZF Commercial Vehicle and Auto Ancillary Company. Let me first touch upon its last quarter performance. On the back of strong demand coming in from the CV segment, the company reported a strong 34.2% year-on-year growth in its top line. Operating leverage, coupled with rich product mix and softening of the raw material prices, the company reported an EBITDA margin expansion of around 472 basis points. There are multiple triggers that make us bullish on this stock. On the back of strong product portfolio and the wide product range, it has established itself a leader in air braking system. Secondly, ZF Commercial Vehicle has continuously been investing in technological innovation that has led company to attain the technological leadership among the auto ancillary companies. And in light of this, with the upcoming opportunities coming in the M&HCV segments such as ADAS, fleet management system, EV parts for e-buses, etc., these products could be a key growth driver for the company as the content per vehicle is very high. Thirdly, the industry outlook for ZFCV is very promising on the back of the strong demand coming in from for the commercial vehicle segment, with the government's focus on core activities such as mining, infrastructure, and construction activities. Apart from the bus segment, also provides strong opportunities as this had been hobbled due to the COVID pandemic. Now, with the reopening of school, colleges, and offices, we believe the demand is expected to come from this segment as well. Lastly, the company currently trades at around 37.4 times FY24 projected earnings, which is at a discount of around 19 times from its long-term average. Hence, we believe the company is currently trading at reasonable valuations.
All right, Nitin, thank you for that. With that, we'll simply do a short break. On the other side, we have Amit Dhanukkar, who's the Chairman and Managing Director of Tilak Nagar Industries, joining in to discuss the company's business outlook. Stay tuned.
तेरा नाम क्या है पूछे वाले पूछे तो बता तेरी पहचान क्या है तेरा नाम गूंजेगा तो उठेगा एक तूफान हिलेगी जमीन मचेगा घमासान तेरा नाम गूंजेगा जब हर गली हर मकान देखेंगे फिर गेम तेरी से।
ये है शुरुआत तेरी, अब हर जुबान पे होगी बात तेरी। देखिए पहला टाटा वुमेन्स प्रीमियर लीग 4 मार्च से जियो सिनेमा पर बिल्कुल फ्री।
तो कमाल हो गया।
अब डिजिटल इंडिया देखेगा डिजिटल टाटा आईपीएल सिर्फ जियो सिनेमा पे, किसी भी स्क्रीन पे, किसी भी मोबाइल नेटवर्क पे, बिल्कुल फ्री।
रेणु, अपना नया घर का सपना पूरा होगा। लोन हो गया।
पापा, हम अपने नए घर में कैसे रहेंगे?
अपनी नई कार में।
और ये कार लोन भी यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से?
हाँ, अब घर और कार का सुनहरा सपना साकार।
यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, अच्छे लोग, अच्छा बैंक।
Be celebrated with the big, bold, beautiful Nissan Magnite.
आ गई।
मम्मा, और कोई ऑप्शन है क्या?
मम्मा,
लाइफ में और कहीं ऑप्शंस मिले ना मिले, मोतीलाल ओसवाल आपको देता है ऑप्शंस ट्रेडिंग में ऑप्शंस। इंट्रोड्यूसिंग मोतीलाल ओसवाल ऑप्शन स्टोर विद अ वाइड रेंज ऑफ ऑप्शंस इन ऑप्शंस ट्रेडिंग। एक्सप्लोर करो ऑप्शन स्टोर। Investment in securities market is subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
When our big boss was MD, he used to take care of us.
And our Prince Sahab is busy ensuring his family. Oh, big boss, you?
He's busy obtaining term insurance for his family. After all, office is also our family. Am I right?
Let's close the deal. Thank you. Verma ji, will you have tea with this prince?
LIC's Group Term Assurance Plan takes care of your office family.
Welcome back. The key indices holding in the greens of lows. So let's talk about individual stocks then. We have with us the management of Tilak Nagar Industries. Amit Dahanukar, who's the chairman and managing director of the company, joins in. Remember, they recently repaid some of their debt, prepaid part of their outstanding debt of Edelweiss Asset Reconstruction Company. Over the last 1 year or so, the stock price has doubled, but in just the last couple of months, it's been consolidating between 90 to about 120. Thanks a lot, Amit, for joining in. First up on this debt itself, you've prepaid about, 54 odd crores. The balance debt of close to 127 crores, I understand, will be waived off when the restructured debt is paid. So to that, I just wanted to know, what exactly does your current debt stand at? By when do you get entirely debt-free? And what's the timeline of payment of your restructured debt?
So just to clarify, Nigel, this 127 crores now will be written back by this company as of 31st March. The obligation was to pay this debt of 54 crores by 31st March 2024. But since the company's operating cash flows were quite healthy and we had also raised a significant amount of money in the past 18 months and were very well capitalized, the board considered it prudent to prepay some of this debt before it was due, and we will also be getting the right back of 127 crores. So that leaves us with a debt of approximately 180 to 190 crores.
All right.
Okay. All right.
And,
Hi, Amit.
I believe that within the next 12 to 18 months, company should be near debt free.
Oh, that is encouraging. Hi, Amit. This is Nigel here. Mangalam had asked you the first question. Amit, so you'll be saving then considerably even on the interest cost, right? On this 180, 190 crores, what is the current borrowing cost?
Yes, Nigel will be saving significantly on interest costs. I think just to give a little perspective to our viewers, I think in March 19, the interest cost of the company was 180 crores. Whereas in March 22, it was 60 crores. And in March 23, which is this year, it will be less than 40 crores. So the company has made significant efforts towards reduction in both the debt and the interest costs also have been coming down. I'm quite confident that the year going forward also, we will be able to slash this finance cost by close to 25%. And of course, this money which is being released consequent to the interest savings will be plowed back to grow the business further.
All right. So good on the balance sheet then. So let's talk about business itself. The third quarter, we saw volume growth of what? Almost 40%. You've done volumes of 24.3 lakh cases. Just wanted to understand if this run rate sustains, what's the capacity that you currently have? Does that increase? Utilization increases? What kind of volumes are you gunning for going forward?
So this year, we have, of course, the industry for 9 months has grown approximately 15%, whereas our growth has been 40%. A lot of that has been aided by, one-time correction since the company was short of capital. We were having we were finding it difficult to subscribe to, the growth opportunities which were there. But having raised adequate capital, I think that was a correction which happened in terms of the 40-45% growth which has happened. But going forward, of course, there's a great momentum which is already there with these numbers which have come out in Q3. We are quite confident that we will continue to grow. I think the industry, for next year, we will anticipate the growth to be around 10 to 12%. But I'm quite confident that our growth will be in the upper teens.
Okay, all right. Amit, then give us a few details. I've gone through your press release and you're saying in the past quarter you did 300 crores per quarter, which is the best ever. So can you continue at this sort of a run rate? Now, at the 9-month mark, you have done close to around 7 million cases, 6.8 million cases. What is the outlook? What do you end this year with? And by next year, what do you end at?
So I think by this year, it would be reasonable enough, very close to the end of March. So anticipate that we should end somewhere between 9.5 to 10 million cases for this year. And going forward, I think the growth outlook will be upwards of 15%.
Okay, all right. So for next year, then you'll be doing closer to around 11 million cases. Yeah, are we getting that correct? Just doing mathematics.
Yes.
And 300 crores per quarter is very good in comparison to what you've done in the past. So if I annualize that, for next year you should do at least 1,200 crores, or will it be even better than that because you have taken some measures as well? Should it be in the vicinity of around 1,300 crores of revenues?
It should be better than that. That would be my approximation. Yes, it should be better than that.
Better than 1,300 crores?
Yes.
All right. Amit, on your operational side, just wanted to understand the revenue mix of the company. Now, currently, majority of your revenues come in from brandy. Point number one is, are you looking outside of brandy? Point number two is that majority of your revenues are also concentrated towards the southern part of the country. So are you looking at expanding outside of that? And the third point is you've entered super premium categories. So your revenue mix. So on three things, your product mix, your geographical mix, and your revenue mix. What sort of outlook do you have?
So the product mix definitely is very skewed towards brandy. In fact, we have been India's largest selling premium brandy with Mansion House for several years now. I think in 2021, I think we became the largest selling brandy in India. And I think in 2022, the brand Mansion House has just grown. I think in 2021, it was 5.3 million cases, and 2022 calendar year, we sold more than 7 million cases. So the brand has demonstrated a phenomenal growth. I think so. There will be no defocus from brandy. I think brandy has and continues to be our core strength. So we will continue to focus on brandy for the next 18 to 24 months. But I think this is a good time for us as an organization, as a corporate, to look at the next categories. Since the balance sheet has now been significantly deleveraged, we have adequate capital available to explore growth opportunities now outside of brandy. So certainly, I think going forward, in terms of the next 3 to 5 horizon, we would want to, have slightly less focus on brandy, and we will start investing in other categories now. Both in terms of product and in terms of geographic mix also. I think as you had pointed out, the geographic mix is, yes, it is very much skewed to the south, but let's not forget that even if you look at a national footprint, the southern markets, they account close to around 60 to 65% of overall IMFL sold in the country. So South is a large market. We have been strong traditionally in that market.
Yes.
We've grown in strength in this year. And I think, but going forward, I think in terms of diversification, yes, I think it's the right time for the company to now start seeding markets with a long-term objective.
Okay, all right. Very quickly then, Amit, before we let you go, what is the margin outlook that we should be looking at? You have improved to low teens, close to around 12-13% is what you have done in the last few quarters. So what is the broadband out there? And I'm looking at the promoter holding. There was some dilution as well. Promoter holding has come to around 42%. Are you comfortable at these levels, or do you think the promoter holding can go down further?
So the promoter holding, I'll take the second question first, which was the promoter holding. So the promoter holding, more than 12 months ago, it was upwards of 50%. But as I had mentioned earlier on the call, the company has, raised significant equity from marquee investors. In fact, we have done 3 rounds of equity raise in the preceding 18 months. So consequent to that equity raise, the promoter holding has gone down. Currently, it stands as 42%, which you have pointed out. We are quite comfortable maintaining it at those levels. And I do not see any equity raise in the imminent future, any more further equity raise in the imminent future. I think we are capitalized, and we'll use our operating cash flows now to fund future growth. I think the first question you mentioned was in terms of margin pressure. So if you compare with 12 months ago, certainly there has been acute margin pressure. Inflationary trends have been quite significant on our packaging and raw material costs. I think both Amit, fronts, the inflation has been upwards of 20%.
Right, Amit, we're a little short on time. If you could give us a band on the margin front, what is it? Should you work with 12-13%, 13-14%? What should it be?
I think for the near term, it should be 12 to 13%. But for the medium term, I do expect that the margins will correct.
All right. Thanks a lot, Amit, for joining.
Near term will be around that.
Okay, take that point.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Good luck with all your plans going forward, diversifying outside of the southern markets in the next 3 to 5 years, but guiding for almost 15% sort of volume growth coming by in the next year, believing that the margins could be operating in a band of 12 to 13% in the near term, perhaps increases going forward. The street likes that. A bit of a spike on the stock of the Lucknow Industries. Take a short break, come back, get you more on the markets and individual stocks. Stay tuned.
ये है शुरुआत तेरी, अब हर जुबान पे होगी बात तेरी। देखिए पहला टाटा विमेंस प्रीमियर लीग स्पोर्ट्स 18 और जियो सिनेमा पर।
अब डिजिटल इंडिया देखेगा डिजिटल टाटा आईपीएल सिर्फ जियो सिनेमा पे, किसी भी स्क्रीन पे, किसी भी मोबाइल नेटवर्क पे, बिल्कुल फ्री।
ICICI लोम्बार्ड बीफिट कवर से सारी मेडिसिन कैशलेस मिल गई। कैशलेस मेडिसिन झूठ की वे खाद होती है मास्टर जी।
ICICI लोम्बार्ड हेल्थ एडवांटेज प्लस के साथ बिफिट कवर जो दे मेटर्निटी कवर, कैशलेस मेडिसिन जैसे फीचर्स। इट्स अनबिलीवेबल बट ट्रू।
Be celebrated with the big, bold, beautiful Nissan Magnite.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine to the greens and get lost in the world within. To steer through, to stop, start again, go forth and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80 for the ones who are wild at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
Smart technology, HD quality. कैसा लग रहा है पापा? बहुत महंगा लग रहा है। सुब्बू। What सुब्बू? कभी टीवी, कभी जूते, कभी परफ्यूम। फ्यूचर के बारे में क्यों सोचना है? सोचा है पापा। आप लोगों के लिए भी कोटक प्रोटेक्ट इंडिया 112 रुपए महीने में 5 लाख का लाइफ कवर और जब मर्जी 25 लाख तक का कवर ऐड ऑन करो। सोच के लिए है।
Kotak Protect India, a smart insurance plan for a smart generation.
Hello Kia, open the sunroof please. Sunroof opening. Zoom zoom vroom vroom. Zoom zoom.
Open sunroof.
Zoom zoom vroom vroom. And a wee.
Design so unique. Everyone is inspired. Kia, movement that inspires.
Invest once and enjoy guaranteed maturity with life cover with LIC's Dhan Varsha, a single premium plan for your family's security and prosperity.
Welcome back. The Nifty's moved back into the red, and that could be courtesy Reliance. So just take an intraday chart of Reliance. Take a look at that. It's fallen a bit from highs, about 1% currently at the low point of trade, and that sharp swoop on Reliance is actually weighed in on the market. So from being in the green, the Nifty is actually slipped back into the red by about 12 odd points, but currently has seen a bit of a dip. But important news flashes at the bottom of the screen, Nigel,
well, that's
coming
important,
in.
because you had some news reports that indicated that Mr. Agarwal is looking to sell close to around 5% stake.
Right.
We have reached out to the group and they have clarified that they deny any intention to sell any stake in the company. So that's an important clarification that's coming in there. We'll try to get in further information on this. But the stock was down close to around 7% odd. So we reached out to the management and they have clarified that as of now, there is absolutely no intention to sell any stake in Vedanta Limited. Seeing a bit of a recovery on that, we'll try to get you more details on that. Remember, Mangalam, in the near term as well, they've got that dividend coming in from Hindustan Zinc, which flows to Vedanta Limited and then flows to the promoter entity. So the near-term debt obligations, they have been taken care of. So that's why, in fact, at least as of now, in the near term, it didn't really make logical sense. But since the report was carried out there, we said we'll clarify to our viewers, and we're seeing a bit of a recovery on the stock.
All right, important clarification coming in on there on Vedanta. So we have seen a mild bit of recovery. The stock up almost 3% from the lows. With that, we wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. You stay tuned. Trading Hour comes up next.